After generating over 140,000 leads and selling each between $25 to $300, I will walk you through 10 things that have the highest impact on lead quality. The typical problem that people have with lead quality is either unqualified leads, which means people don't qualify for the service or product you are selling, or have no real interest or intent in buying. Or secondly, low contact rate, which is more common. The lead might be qualified, but you are unable to get in touch with them. So I will show you exactly what we implemented to fix both of these issues. And at the end of the video, I will share a link to the checklist you can use. So why you should care about lead quality? First, you can charge 3 to 4 times more per lead than your competition while keeping clients for years like we do. Or if you are generating leads for yourself, your whole marketing and sales system will be more profitable and efficient, which will make you more money at the end. So let's start by solving the unqualified leads. First, we have 4 main solutions here. But before I start, I want to walk you through the 5 stages of awareness, because you need to understand is when it comes to creating the ads or creating the content for your market, what stage is the specific consumer or ideal client type in, right? So I will walk you through the stages first, and then we will go to the exact solutions to implement. So first of all, if you are advertising to unaware people, they are typically unaware of their problem, might be feeling some symptoms of the problem, but they need the education journey to most aware, right? So there's like hardest customer to convert typically. Then you have problem aware, which is they are aware of the problem, but don't know if there is some solution, right? Then there are solution aware, interested in finding on how they can solve their problem they have. And then we have product aware, which already they know the solutions, they know the products that are existing in the market, they are maybe making some comparisons between those. And lastly, the most aware is they already know the exact products that are in the market, they are narrowing down the last solutions, they are comparing them. And this is typically easiest prospect to convert it, but you need to create content on ads to address their objections or questions. The mistake here, what people do is typically they target these type of stages, right? And in most verticals, to be honest, like most people are maybe in the problem aware or solution aware, or sometimes in unaware, depends on your market. So the typical ads that work for product aware or most aware will not work for the problem and solution aware. So that's one thing that I want to mention before we actually go through the solving the unqualified leads and no intent, what can cause the actual issue. So you just need to understand like what stage of awareness is your actual prospect in. So the first solution that we have here is if you are generating leads like we do and selling them at scale, basically how we generate leads, we have like a funnel where we ask, or even if you are selling like info product, you have maybe some application or something, you can add these qualification questions, which we call BNT, which is budget, need for your solution, and timeline to move forward. There is like solution band, right? But I kind of simplified it to BNT only. And basically this, the reason why we use this can qualify leads by their real interest and intent and disqualified time wasters. So if you are in the selling leads, to make this work, you will have to charge more per lead from your clients, right? Because obviously it will increase your lead cost, but also it will help the client to convert them more, so they will have at the end better CPA, which if you are charging for cost per lead, it still will lead to the better CPA than even if they are paying you less per lead, right? So here are some examples of questions that you can add. So in terms of the budget, it can be something like how much have you set aside to invest in specific product. Keep in mind that if you're asking the question, you need to know the stage of awareness they are in, because if they don't know the product or the solution even, and you are asking them how much they have set aside to invest in this, like of course they don't have anything to set aside, right? So you kind of have to frame it and position it right correctly in the funnel. So typically you can give them like 3 ranges or something, right? One that's typically all of the people in this range, typically they don't never qualify, so you can just disqualify this type of person. Then the second and third range, like you will move them or push them through, or just like, so you have this data and you can maybe optimize only, you are feeding pixel, let's say only with this type of people, if that's the best customer, and maybe you are not feeding pixel with this, and certainly not with this, right? For this specific thing, because like some people are maybe less aware, as I mentioned, you can use like some confirmation question. So let's say you are asking about budget of someone, and there is like you're asking like if they have budget like 0 to 3K, and if they select like 0 to 3K, right? You can set the confirmation questions that your packages start at 3K if they work for them, right? And if they select yes, then you can still move them forward to the quiz. If not, then you disqualify them fully, right? So that's the budget thing. The need one is which of the following best describes your current situation regarding the vertical product, right? So there are some examples here, and if they don't have any need for the specific product, right, you basically disqualify them. You have like some some other options that are like more like specific to the something they might be looking for. But if they are not really in need, they don't really want it, they are just like fun hacking you or some stupid stuff like that, you just disqualify them. It's a little bit time based anyway, right? So we have questions for that. Then timeline, if you are qualified, how soon do you get started to get this specific product, right? This you can like depends on the specific product, right? If it's like mortgage or something, it can be like longer time horizon. If it's like something very specific that can be bought on a daily basis, you'll have like shorter time horizon. So make sure like if it's like too long, you can disqualify them, or you will just add another question to confirm the actual timeline, right? If it's like really disqualification. So this helps quite a lot with the intent of the lead and actual qualification, or if they are aware of the solution product or most aware. So this helps quite a lot. The next solution, which is basically more like general for intent of the leads, it's kind of important how you source the lead, or what is the lead source. So obviously traffic from social platforms, which is Meta, Facebook, Instagram, or maybe TikTok, is very different intent than maybe from Google search, right? Or maybe YouTube is slightly different. So what I recommend that typically increases the quality of the lead and intent of the lead is running YouTube ads, because you can run like longer videos, like 3 minutes or something, and maybe retarget the ones that people that watch a certain percentage of the video. And typically based on the numbers we have internally, there is like 1.5 increase in conversion rate when running YouTube ads compared to like social media ads, right? There also is different between Google search, and also it depends per vertical. But the product that need a little bit more education work better on YouTube ads. Then there's another solution. We use Google search ads for verticals that are need in time. What that means, certain products are purchased only in the case of need and certain situations. So for example, if you have pest control or legal services, home services, plumbing, or these kind of products, typically people don't buy them just from seeing like social media ads. So that's a mistake. Like if you are trying to generate leads for like these local type of verticals, or verticals that are like typical people only really need when they need them, and you are running like some social or Facebook ad for it, it's typically like there is almost zero intent in that type of lead, right? You disrupt the day of that lead that don't really need that service. It's kind of like you are trying to sell something to someone that don't need it at this time. So basically we use intent-based ads, which is Google search, right? And not social media for this type of verticals. And if you obviously like Google search will be more competitive and more pricey, but also you can charge premium prices for this. At the beginning of this video, I mentioned that we charge 3 to 5 times or 2 to 4 times higher prices than our competitors, right? So because the CPA at the end, it will be cheaper for them. So you can negotiate the prices from your buyer, or if you are running this campaign internally, you can kind of make the numbers still work, right? So don't overthink the actual keyword planners and these kind of things, or the projections of the Google gives you, or the cost per clicks there, because you can typically generate the leads for cheaper, right? And the last one that we use quite heavily and works best for social platforms, actually, if you have like vertical that you can advertise on social. So each market and vertical will have a specific market segment that have higher likelihood of converting, right? So for example, our life insurance is typically purchased by men and is easier to sell to men between 18 to 40, as it's cheaper. The premium is actually cheaper than maybe selling to 40 to 65. So what we found, like we created demographic specific brand, right? We run to specific age groups, we run to specific stage, and we have a lot of data about what converts. So we just push those ads to the target groups, and the conversion rates are like 3 times what the average industry average is, right? So that's basically the fourth solution for the intent. And next I will go through the low contact rate, and what I will go through after is actually like ranking them, what to implement in what stages, so you know like what to actually focus on, and not implementing the lightest thing, right? Because it will not move the needle as much. So for solving for low contact rate, the number one solution that will fix most of the issues if you have like a lower contact rate is actual sales process the client or you have implemented on the after the lead is submitted, right? So, and how you can kind of solve it is having multi-channel contact. What I mean by this is like most people operate either on calls, or they wait for like a booked call. They don't do anything else besides it. They have like typical one platform, and that's it, right? If you are generating like insurance leads, like the client like just calls them on one platform, they don't have anything else implemented. Or if you are selling through phone or high ticket service, you typically wait to the call. Maybe you have some notification before the call, or maybe like some SMS, email combination, good, but it's not like a multi-channel contract, right? So you will increase your contact rate or actually show up rate if you're selling for product quite a lot by implementing this. And I have the recommended sequence here, so you can maybe like screenshot it, but I will not go through like into much detail because like I want to keep the video relatively short. But just to quickly touch base on this, I mentioned like calls, SMS, WhatsApp, and email. So obviously call is probably the highest leverage you can do, right? It depends on the country, but it's the highest leverage. And in terms of what I mean by SMS and WhatsApp, SMS I would, even if you are using automated, I would use iMessage type of stuff, right? Because most people have iPhone, right? Especially if you are living in North America, then use software that allows you to send iMessages at scale, not SMS messages. And it will fall back if the user has Android or something, it will fall back to the SMS, but always have the first iMessage because it has way higher reply rate than the spammy green SMS. And also it doesn't have this TCPA thing there, the reply stop to unsubscribe and all this kind of stuff, right? So we use iMessages instead of SMS if that's possible for the user. And then we use also WhatsApp. We have probably the highest success rate with WhatsApp. And also for our group, like inside the group that we have, we use mainly WhatsApp and then iMessage. But it depends, because if you are selling in Europe, probably WhatsApp will be better choice than iMessage. If you are selling to North America, iMessage is typically primary and better, but you always should combine them, right? So if they don't reply there, you can have another logic that will contact them on the other platform. Email is typically a lowest leverage. I would recommend it only for email marketing and nurturing over the long term, but it will not improve your contact rate or show up rate as much. These will be way more impactful. So this is a recommended sequence. Please screenshot it. Obviously, I start with some message, and then there is a client call. One thing that I want to note here, always if you are calling the lead or if the client is calling the lead, make sure they call within 5 minutes. That's the number one thing they can do. This will increase their actual contact rate quite a lot, and make sure they double down. So if the person doesn't pick up for the first time, have the actual client or you or your team or whoever you're working with call the lead after again in 1 minute or something. Because if you are receiving the calls 2 times calls, it seems a little bit more urgent and that you should pick it up, right? Than just having call once and then ignore. And also make sure the number is actually the client's numbers and everything is not marking as spam. So just test it with your actual, go through the funnel yourself, use your details, wait for them to call you and see if the number is going normally or if it's showing as spam. It's quite a common issue that numbers, if they are used quite a lot, it will be shown as spam, right? So that has to be solved. So this is number one solution for low contact rate. Then we have a second solution we use quite heavily on our end. This works quite well if you are generating leads and selling leads. It doesn't matter as much if you are doing info product or something like that, but we use OTP verification, which is a one-time passcode, which we send when the lead is submitting the phone numbers. This is our form. We have phone number, right? You submit the phone number. Typically, what most forms do, after phone number confirmation, they redirect to the thank you page or whatever. There's nothing besides that. But what we have one more page, which is verification code. So user receives verification code to their phone. They have to enter, and if they enter, then they are allowed to proceed. And then the lead is sent to the client or actually to the CRM, right? So this helps quite a lot in terms of the contact rate, because this avoids the fake numbers and fake leads, right? Because it doesn't allow you to submit the phone number if you don't submit the code, right? So this solves quite a lot with the fake data. It might not improve the contact rate, but it will improve the whole efficiency of the leads that you generate, because all the leads that you will have should have 100% valid contact rate. Sorry, not phone numbers if you implemented this correctly. So that's second solution for contact rates. So solution 3 is have lead send you or your client WhatsApp or SMS message on the thank you page. What that means is kind of confusing. I maybe should have written the headline a little bit better, but it's basically have the lead on the thank you page send you message first or contact you, right? Not that you initiate the conversation. And that allows you also not to, if they only have SMS allowed or whatever, they don't have a message, that you don't have this reply to unsubscribe type of stuff, right? So basically what I mean is on the thank you page, you will have something like this, right? For example, for the info product, you have button to send you WhatsApp message or iMessage or whatever, and they will contact you and then you start a conversation, right? This button, what we do internally, we have custom script that it replaces the number from the closer with the closer they scheduled with, right? So the number is actually dynamic based on the appointment that's scheduled. If it's something that there are no appointments scheduled, you can use like some generic like CRM number for the client that he is using, that will be like the leads will be contacting, right? And also make sure that number is same that you are using for actually notification or something. So it goes through the one flow and they know the notification and where they are coming from. So you can do like both SMS and WhatsApp. It depends like per country. I wouldn't do maybe WhatsApp as a primary if you are in the US. In Europe, I will do. Or you can do like iMessage if you have the ability to send iMessages. So that's that. Fourth solution for low contact rates is set and sell appointments to small clients, leads to clients with strong sales operations. One of the most important things when you are doing the pay-per-lead business as we do is finding clients that have already established sales operations. Like all of our clients that are with us like for 20 months or more, or basically for years, we have like clients that are with us for 4 years or 5 years. Basically, all of them have like established sales operations. So they are basically used to be working this type of traffic, the paid traffic and social media traffic that we do, right? So this is an example of if you are doing a lead gen in specific vertical, and you will have some maybe like smaller buyers, you will have maybe some bigger buyers. So how you can structure it? You have like a brand, which is not kind of that much important for this example, but you have like some intake application, like some quiz or whatever, how you collect the data and how you collect the information about the prospect. And if you are doing call booking, basically what you can do is for the intake, all the leads that don't book a call will be sent to the direct lead buyer, the call center, right? So this is like the buyers that have like established sales operation. They can call, double dial within 2 minutes or 3 minutes, right? So they will increase the contact rate that way. Or if the prospect actually books and the product actually can be booked, you can sell it to like maybe some smaller buyer. If you're a smaller buyer that they are waiting for the calls, there are some lead nurturing in between that you can implement the multi-channel, for example, that we covered in solution 1. So you can have like these different paths and have you distribute the leads based on what the lead actually submitted the info for, or if they schedule the call, if they didn't schedule, right? So this is another thing that will improve the contact rate. It's like a lower leverage thing, but for example, like because what we found, like the smaller buyers, they're buying appointments or something, they typically don't have like sales operation or anything like that. So they typically don't typically complain about the lead quality, right? Because they just don't have the sales operation, they are just waiting, they have nothing. And because you can sell the same lead to the large buyer with established sales operations, and they will be able to convert it, because it's just like 80% of the success, I would say, of the lead quality or actual contact rate is actually on the sales process of the actual client, or if you are generating for yourself, that will be like 80% of the focus you should have. So that's the solution 4. Solution 5 is basically AI infrastructure. Obviously, AI is growing right now, so there's many solutions you can implement. Here is one example that I will show you. So basically, you are running paid ads, right? You collect the info to the quiz or lead form or whatever you are doing. Again, the same lead form. You have thank you page. And what you can do is to actually improve that. You can have like AI to send a iMessage or WhatsApp to this multi-channel contact rate. If you want to have it really personalized based on the application or whatever, so it's not just like some standardized thing that everybody knows is a bot or something. You can have like workflows, like you can connect it to your cloud or whatever, and it will like communicate with the customer. It will be prompted to the specific thing that it should achieve for the client, and then it will distribute the leads to the client. So you can either use this before you send the lead to client, or just for the nurturing before the call, right? This I would recommend only with the smaller buyers that cannot contact leads within 2 to 5 minutes, because if they can, like this not really have any use case. Or second scenario where you can use this is you actually don't send the lead to the client after they submit, only after AI qualifies them. So you can really prompt this AI to do anything you really want. So you can qualify if they reply with something, or if they reply the day the client can contact them. So this, you can be very flexible. How this can work is, if you are using high level, you can do like some workflows there. You can connect it through webhooks to the OpenAI or through Zapier or something. I don't want to go into much depth into this because it's kind of complex to explain on this video. But yeah, that's one solution that you can implement to increase the contact rate. And the last solution I have here is basically add client's phone number to thank you page. So it depends even if it's you or client, they typically have one common number they will be calling from. So make sure you mention it on the thank you page, because like even easier if you add like the button like I have here, add my number to contacts, right? So if the client has always like the same area code and the same like these 3 digits, like you can start with that. Or if they have like always the same number, you can basically put the whole number here, or if it's your company, you can put your number there. So just like making sure like they recognize the number, and that basically allows the thing that I was mentioning before, is that the number will be not marked as spam if they save it or they recognize the number, right? Or they will pick it up, right? So the last thing I mentioned is automate sending an SMS from the same number immediately after lead submission. So here is an example of SMS you can send, or a WhatsApp message or iMessage, right? And use the same number, or if it's a client number, try to figure out how you can integrate. So they are sending on just suggest how you can integrate it with them, so that because it helps them to convert and contact more leads. Now I want to go through the lead quality checklist, basically because I mentioned all of these things that you can implement, but there are some that are highest leverage that you should start with first, and there are some that are lower leverage or medium leverage. So for solving unqualified leads and no intent, with the highest leverage will be adjusting the quiz qualification questions using the BNT that we talked about, and the medium leverage will be the other stuff that we talked about, running YouTube ads, using Google search, and target ideal client demographic. So I would start with this and then implementing the medium leverage first. And in terms of the low contact rate, highest leverage will be the multi-channel. Basically, that's the one thing that will solve most of the issues, and actually calling the lead within 2 minutes and double dialing. And there are the medium leverage will be verifying the phone number with OTP, have the lead send you message first, AI infrastructure, and there are these nice to have. The last two that I mentioned is setting appointments and distributing different leads between clients, and adding phone number client to the thank you page. Because what most people do, they will start with this last one because it's easy, it's just adding a phone number, but actually this is like a lower leverage in terms of the specific problem. I will add the checklist you can download in the first comment of this video. And if you liked it, please like the video, maybe comment if you have any questions. And if you are interested in building a lead generation platform or pay-per-lead business, we have a group called insider.group, right, where we show and license all of the internal assets that we use, or all of the stuff that I'm showing you. Like we have like implementation guides and everything what we do internally for to deliver high quality leads and make this business like really scalable, cash flow producing and profitable. So if you are interested in joining that group, go to insider.group and click some buttons there, and you'll learn about what we do and whatever, and join if you like it. So yeah, see you in the next video.